very much enjoying the show so far. But for you, just I guess first off, how familiar were you with the MCU before becoming part of it?
Not at all. I mean,
No.
except in, obviously, I that everybody knows about the Marvel Universe. I would see the signs and I would see the posters, but I hadn't actually watched any of it, and I should have. I mean, I have friends, Agents of Shield. It's like, but I didn't. It just wasn't my genre, and I see so little. I would go to the movies so infrequently, and what I was always pulled to was, small character-driven, independent films, and that's what I would see. But I knew that the films were wildly respected on everybody's part, on part of critics, on the part of the audience. So I knew that I should be seeing it.
And I mean, once you did become part of the MCU, did you realize how secretive everything would be, and just how under wraps did you have to keep everything?
Oh my God, I had no idea how secretive it was going to be. I mean, the things I had to sign, and it's like, whoa, no, they can take my house, shit. Then, and what was most problematic, because I'm not super, I'm over 60, is I couldn't print out my words. And I thought, so, okay. I couldn't print them out. I couldn't download them, nothing. Only they had to be able to watch me online. So it was me. I'm sure they figured out a way to turn the camera on too. And I got there the day before I shot down to Atlanta, and I was on the lot to get my to do a costume fitting. And so I walked over to the production office. I said to somebody, I want to go to the production, I want to pick up my sides. And they were like, oh. So I went to the production office, say, hey, I'd like to pick up I'm working tomorrow. Can I get my sides?
No.
I need to make a phone call. Why don't you, there's lunch over there. Like, literally, after a half an hour, I still hadn't gotten an answer. It's like, oh, it's okay. I'll go back to the hotel and get on the Wi-Fi, and I'll just get back on it. It was crazy.
And I mean, now that it started airing, have you found even more people now coming to you, trying to get spoilers out of you, trying to get some Marvel intel other than us reporters?
I haven't had too much of that, thankfully. I also just got back from 2 months on the road. And of course, it only started 2 weeks ago. So,
yeah.
And for a week of that, I was in our motorhome coming back from, coming across the Gulf Coast and through tiny little towns. I was a little disappointed I did not get recognized anywhere.
Not yet.
Not yet. I had a close call. I was at this tiny Mexican restaurant in Fort Stockton, Texas, and woman comes out. She says, you know what? Do you know you have a doppelganger? And I'm like, no, and I'm about to say, no, I'm an actress. And she said, my friend Kathy, you are exactly like Kathy. And I even said, well, I am an actress, so you might have said, no, it's not that. It's Kathy. I'm telling you, you look like. It's like, that's the closest I got to being recognized the whole 2 months.
And for you, this last episode, we found out that your character also has a connection to the new Captain America.
Yeah.
I know you probably can't say a single thing, but, should we maybe keep an eye out for that connection to be explored further?
I sure hope so. And I mean,
that's about as much as I expect we could take as an answer from you. But you also have done a lot of doctor roles in the past. How does it compare, being one for a superhero or compared to what Felicity?
Well, it's actually not that different, because for Amy, the experience of shooting it was different, obviously, because the room is filled with smoke and they were in this kind of area and the camera's over here with this crazy angle. But in terms of, I always just start with, all right, who is this person and what is she looking to do? And this person is somebody who was in the military, and what she's dealing with is the person in front of her. She's not dealing with superhero. She's dealing with this very, very wounded boy young man who she wants to help, and she really feels like she needs to help because she's been through PTSD herself. She's lost all these, comrades to it. And if anybody is going to be devoured by PTSD, it's a 106-year-old soldier who was forced to murder his friends. So she really, but it's about him. It's just about him. She's looking at his phone. I love that, she looks at his phone. It's like, yeah, that's how I know what your life is like. Okay.
Yeah.
She's dealing with a person. She's not dealing with any superpowers. It's just the person and what his life has done to his psyche, and how can she help him and to be happy and healthy going forward.
Yeah. And in this most recent episode, we also had a session with Sam as part of it as well. Was it always in the script to have it be approached as kind of like a couples therapy, marriage counseling?
Oh yeah.
And why do you think that was so important?
Well, because what they have is a partnership. And from when Raynor is told by John Walker that, okay, you got 20 minutes, go fix him. And then you're done. She knows she's got to bring out she respects it because she understands chain of command, and he's the general in this case. But she's like, all right, I got to bring in the heavy artillery. And she knows that there's something that Sam has got a history with him, and he doesn't have anybody else with history, right?
Yep.
So here is a one opportunity. This is the heavy artillery. If anybody can put a chink in this guy's armor, it's probably Sam. And so, the writers brilliantly understood that and went with it. Okay, she's got to use everything she's got, and the best, the most powerful weapon she's got right now is Sam. If anybody can get through to him, it's going to be him.
And it worked.
And they wrote it that way. I know, and they wrote it brilliantly.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I hope we see a lot more of you. And yeah, I want to see some more of that baby backstory too. So we'll see.
Okay. All right. Take care. Lovely to meet you, Brian. Thanks.